Everybody, I'm DJ Foster here with Laker head football coach Matt Mitchell. We're going to preview the defensive side of the football heading into the 2011 season. Coach, your first year at Grand Valley as head coach, you went 11-2, second round playoff berth. But you're also the defensive coordinator, obviously, and you lost a couple of key players on that side of the ball: Justin Victor, Nick Lawrence, Steve Goronsky, Rob Carlisle, Matt Baker. All five of those guys were all conference selections last year. How do you replace those guys going into this season?
Well, it's tough anytime you lose seniors, and definitely all those guys were great players for us and made a lot of plays throughout the course of their career. But at the same time, when you're at a program like Grand Valley, we always seem to find a way to do it. So we've got some other younger underclassmen that played for us last year we're kind of counting on. Then we're excited about the return of a couple guys that had played for us in 2009 and weren't with us in 2010, getting those guys back. So we're excited to get those guys back, and I think the combination of both will make up for the loss of those seniors.
And one of those guys that you're welcoming back is preseason All-American Danny Richard, who we're hoping he stays healthy, obviously. You have some good experience, though, on the defensive line. Talk about that group of players.
Yeah, well, we get back Danny Richard, who was a first ballot All-American in 2009. It was one of the reasons we got to the national championship game. And then, he sat out last year with an injury. So he's back. We're excited about that. He's looking healthy. Andre Thomas sat out last year, was a starter for us in 2009's back. Last year, we had good years out of Brandon Allen until he got hurt in the Michigan Tech game. He's back. Ryan Pettis has had a great spring. Ricky Thomas played a ton for us last year. Hunter Charneski, Denzel Rogers. Ryan Weed is back after taking a year off. So we've got a good group of upperclassmen that have played for us and know what it's about. And then we redshirted 3-4 guys. We're excited about them possibly playing for us too. And I think the combination of some of those guys coming back, having sit out last year, some guys played last year, and some of these freshmen who redshirted, should be a pretty strong group for us.
Great. Yeah. Now the linebacking core may look young, from the outside, but you bring back guys like Luther Ware, who is second-team All-Conference. Talk about the middle of the defense for you guys.
Yeah, probably the two guys coming back to have the most experience are Luther Ware. He started as a redshirt freshman for last year, and then Brad Howard. Brad has been a starter for us, is coming in his senior year, and Brad's had a great offseason. I'd say a couple kids that made some plays last year as redshirt freshmen were Zach Galloway and Jordan Kaufman, and Dan Wanchon. Excited about those guys coming back for kind of their second tour. And then we got a couple guys who redshirted last year. We'll see how they kind of get into the mix. But you're right, in terms of the eligibility, you got Brad Howard and a bunch of freshmen and sophomores, but a lot of those freshmen and sophomores got some time last year and really grew for us, so we're expecting them to take the next step.
Now, the defensive backs, you replace guys like Baker and Carlisle, but you have some experience back there. You got some new guys as well. What are you expecting from that group?
I'm excited about that group also. We had last year a couple corners that had to play Mike Hatcher and some other guys, and so getting those guys back with that year experience, I'm excited about them. And we redshirted a kid last year, transferred from University of Toledo named Kenny Veal, and Kenny's been great in workouts and has looked good in spring. So between Kenny and Hatcher and Chris Hewley's played for us. Those guys kind of out on the perimeter. We're looking for those guys. And then I think in the safety position, I'm really excited. Jared Cox came on strong at the end of the year. You got Zach Breen, who although he has to sit out the beginning portion of the season, he'll be back as a senior, the leader of that group.
Sure.
And then Eric Thompson played a lot last year too as a freshman, made a lot of plays. And then we've got a transfer, Derek Knight came for us from West Virginia, and some other guys, freshmen coming in. So we've got a good nucleus of guys. The safety position, we've got a lot of guys that have made some plays in the past. The corners are a little bit less experienced, but I like the talent that we have at that position.
Now, normally Laker defense is always dominant on that side of the ball, and you're normally playing deep into November postseason play. What do you expect from the defense this year? What's going to be their key to success?
Well, I expect our defense to be strong, and they have high expectations on them, just like they have every year, but we really feel like if we're strong defensively that we can have a very successful season, and that'll be the goal. We've got to do a great job here in camp making sure we put an emphasis on stopping the run. So being physical and stopping the run, being great tacklers is what our primary focus is going to be on, and we're not just going to be playing 11 guys. I anticipate there'll be a lot of guys rotating and playing at the defensive line, the linebacker positions, and in the secondary, and I think you'll see a lot of those same faces you're seeing on defense should have an impact on special teams. I'm excited about some of these guys on defense, setting us up some field position, helping our defense on special teams also.
Sounds great. Well, we look forward to the defensive side of the football as well as the offense, and we'll recap some of those guys in the next couple of weeks. But thanks for joining me today.
All right.